I had a job. I was a marine engine mechanic, outboard motors and inboard motors on Shelter Island in San Diego. I was a student at San Diego State. The Air Force wouldn't talk to me until I had a college degree because I wanted to go to OTS, Officers Training School. So I graduated in January 1963. Then they would talk to me because I could show them a diploma. And by the end of '63, I was a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. But I was too tall to be a pilot, and that's what I wanted to be. I was 6'4" and about 220 pounds. And they said, nope, too tall. So I said, okay, air traffic control then. I want to be an air traffic controller.
It was different back then in the early 90s in Southern California. I witnessed a lot of gang violence. The LA riots happened during that time frame, and gangs were pretty prevalent. I saw drive-by shootings. I wanted to set myself up for success in the future, and I knew that going to college straight out of high school was probably at the time not the best path for me because it was kind of uncertain exactly what I wanted to do and didn't have the financial stability to be able to do that. I got literature from all the services when I was in high school, and the only ones that I sent back saying that I was interested was the Marine Corps. And that's because in my mind, I wanted to be the best, and the Marine Corps was the most elite branch of the military that the United States had to offer.
Before I got my commission, right after high school, I went to the Coast Guard Academy, and so that's, I was there for 4 years as a cadet at the Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut. Growing up in Central Texas, I hadn't really spent much time outside of Texas prior to that, so moving to Connecticut and joining the Coast Guard was a little bit of a culture shock.
I was born in the Philippines when my father got stationed there during World War II at the end of the war. And after 5 years, we immigrated to California. I really wanted to be a nurse in the military because I could take care of patients in the hospital when I became a nurse. When I was in nursing school, I didn't have very much money to finish school. And so I was trying to see if I could get a grant or some kind of scholarship. But everything was, by the time I decided I needed it, the money was gone already. And so when I was in the nursing program, military recruiters came to our dormitory. And so I had a talk with them. And it turned out that the Army Nurse Corps had the best one for me because I could go in right away.
Knowing that my grandfathers had served, especially during wartime, did make me want to join. It was already a thought of mine to join as a possibility after high school and something that I wanted to consider. But when I was a junior in high school, 9/11 happened. Seeing the planes hit the towers and then the towers fall and then the debris and how busted and dirty and everyone was, it moved me to a point where after that I knew I wanted to serve. It was just a matter of when and how I was going to serve. So 9/11 had a big role in motivating me to want to serve.
I went to the University of California, Santa Barbara, and basically I was working on my bachelor's there, and that was my prior experience prior to entering the Army. I was in the Army's ROTC program, and there I participated in a 4-year program.
I was extremely poor. I was raised by my grandmother, and we lived in a section of the country that was, they call them El Mesón, Mesones, which is like government housing, only nothing like a government. They're mud huts and with a little barbecue pit on the outside for her to cook. A lot of times we didn't have any money for food. That's why my father decided to come to the United States, was to take care of me. And so it was, I never went back to El Salvador. I made my life here and I became a US citizen. I couldn't find my place in life. I didn't have a mother, and my grandmother was too old, so I didn't know what to do with myself. So my last job was for Pacific Bell as a long distance operator. They hired me and I worked the night shift. And I still was not happy. I kept thinking, I know I can do better than this. So one day I was coming down Market Street, getting off my shift and going home. And I saw the sign that says, join the Marines and see the world. So I thought, I'm gonna do that.